It's Week 17 of the NFL, and we'll get a look at this team's speedy running back. He'll be a focal point of his...
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league, now in his 5th year at quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. But you look at this defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's been a nightmare for defenses to try and contain all year long. NFL leader in rushing yards at the QB position here late in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 75 yards.
A key component of his team's offense. He will certainly stay in that role if he keeps producing like this each week. Expecting to make a run and not only matching, but exceeding those numbers as this one goes on.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Will go down as a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They come up short here on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
And that is incomplete. When you look at this defense, they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. And there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. They'll set up a throw. His throw incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there. 46 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's West. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll make it second down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flushed out, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on 1st and goal. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Hands it off out of the gun. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And his kick is right there. It's good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the left sideline. And touchdown. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. But backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got it complete to West. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Well, that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll set up to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And down inside the 15 he goes. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the... I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Second and 3. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Touchdown! From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 3rd and 3. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They go play action here on first down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Throw out wide is incomplete. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the visiting side who have the lead in that one. From there, we're off to check out another game. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. 35-13, the final score. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know what I think the defense is saying back to them? Why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. He'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point of the season. They begin with a quick throw out left. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
A try here for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10.
In motion, the tight end. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and it's 2nd down.
And the tight end goes in motion left.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Back to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
3rd and 4.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Delay of game offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
A quick throw, but incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. $39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here on EA Sports as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on third, and then the tables turned. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Now a 2nd and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a short gain down to about the 33. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Steps away to his, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
66 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. From the 33, here's 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Back to throw here. In trouble, and he's taken down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they take a knee. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for our visitors, they get a critical 10th win on the year with 1 game left to go.